on the road. I got a very long drive ahead of me, like 4,000 kilometers long, to do in like 2 days. But tonight, I don't know if the road we're on now is open. I don't know if the road, I don't know, look, we're going to take a gamble. I'm not sure if the road I want to get on is open or not. It's like 270 kilometers away. If it's not open, it means I have to backtrack another 270 kilometers and then drive down the road another 300 kilometers and then another 250 kilometers to get to where I'm trying to go. So I feel like it's worth it for the animals, but I really probably don't have time to be doing this, but we're going to do it. You got to risk it for the biscuit. So anyway, we're on the road. It's prime time. It's just gotten completely dark, and yeah, going to try and look for a death adder tonight, and hopefully if I survive long enough, or if the road allows me to get there, 2 different types of death adders. Pretty ambitious, but we'll see how we go. Alrighty, I've got the first suspect for the night. Would you believe it? A black-headed python. I can't get away from these things. There's so many. Ooh. Aspidites melanocephalus. Black-headed python. Crossing the road. Bloody beautiful snake. Aussie icon. The humble blackhead. There's actually a dead bird, like a really old dead bird, on the road where he was. I just seen it when I walked back to turn the car off. And I have seen these guys feeding on roadkill before, so I'd say he was sussing out that bird. They occupy a wide variety of habitats, really successful species. Anywhere where it's warm enough, so pretty much anywhere in the northern half of Australia. And they do go a fair way south, right down into like the northern goldfields of WA. Rarely, but 1 or 2 members of the genus Aspidites. This fella, the blackhead, and then the Woma python, or the sand python. And honestly, they pretty much look identical to the untrained eye, other than the blackhead. The Womas pretty much just look like this, without the blackhead. They got like a yellowy orange head. How good. They can get up over 10 foot. He's only about 4.5 foot long, 120 odd centimeters. Plenty of growing to do, but up here in the top end they don't get particularly large. Anyway, we get back on the road. Got some death adders to find, but this is definitely a good start. Rightio folks, off to a pretty good start I reckon. Only driven 30 k's up this road. This is one of my favourite, if not my favourite road in the whole country, so that's saying something. But as with anywhere, it's very hit and miss. Some nights you come on here, you'll see 20 death adders, and then other times you come on here and you see none. But blackheads are a pretty usual suspect. Pretty good for blackheads, good for death adders, good for mulgars and pygmy mulgars, and good for olive pythons. So all, you know, some of Australia's best reptiles. Anyway, this torch has blinded me, so we'll get back to it. Literally just stopped filming another blackhead. Bit bigger this one. Nice big healthy animal. Hey, you're alright, mate. Look at that. Big healthy wet season black-headed python. Anyway, we got Death Adders to find. He's out of harm's way. There's no one around. Don't even know if this road's open. So the road is open. I got a picture of the sign saying it if anyone comes for me, but there's no one around. All right, the first part of my job is done. The first species of Death Adder. Yes, I was getting a bit worried there. Getting a bit worried, but never fear, because the Death Adder is here. Let's go have a look, eh? Oh my god, that's so... And it's a ripper at that. Nice male. These are actually an undescribed species, say. Scrubbull. Doesn't fit into any currently described Death Adder species. You can see just how fast they move. Have a look at him. You can see as he gets defensive, he flattens his body out and he shows these real vibrant, bright pastel colours. They're like orange and yellow, and they get like real strong purples in them occasionally. But the thing with these guys is they are the world's fastest striking snake. And they're also like the 8th most venomous snake on the planet. So just don't want to cop a bite accidentally, but they're usually pretty reluctant to bite. I mean, I wouldn't say reluctant, but as long as I don't go down there and try and pick him up, and as long as I sort of just stay out of that strike range, I'm pretty safe. See just how flat they spread that body. You can see right on the end of his tail tip there, they got a little lure. It's called a caudal lure. You can see it's a different colour and it's a bit of a odd shape. And they'll wriggle that around in front of their nose when they're tucked up in the leaf litter. And that'll lure in lizards, birds, mammals, frogs. As soon as this, whatever it is comes in to try and get a feed, boom. Fastest strike. And he grabs it, and that powerful venom, neurotoxic venom, will subdue it, and then he'll swallow it down. So Death Adders are an elapid, which means they're a front-fanged venomous land snake. And then the genus that this bloke is in is Acanthopus, but there isn't a species name that you can label him as. And yeah, Death Adder. These are only found in a pretty small little pocket in the actual region where I am. So if you drive a couple of 100 kilometres either side of where I am now, you'll get 2 different species of snakes. It's pretty interesting. These have been known about for a long time, but just never been described. The whole Death Adder complex, the whole Acanthopus complex is a fair mess. There's a lot of there's just a lot of grey areas. They're a pretty complex snake, and all of their ranges kind of overlap, and then species sort of just merge into another. So they're pretty hard to describe, I suppose, because you get all these like intermediate forms of them, which is like that with a lot of Australian reptiles. This is definitely not something unusual, but yeah, beautiful snake. Hopefully we can find another one. Get a nice big female. The males are always a lot smaller than the females. these particular locality of death adders are actually some of the largest death adders in the whole country. So a big female is a very, very impressive sight. So hopefully we come across one of them next, a big pastel female. Anyway, we'll let this bloke get back to doing his thing. He's put on a very good show for us today, been well behaved for the camera, for the phone. Beautiful animal. Rightio guys, got me a little, check something, no, he's not hanging out. Got me a little death adder mate hanging down here. We're going to let him get back to it. We're going to get back to it ourselves, but really frothing to find one of these guys to show yous, and would be extra frothing if we could tick off that second species. So we'll let him get back to it. We'll get back to it. We got a long drive till we get to the habitat where you find this other type. And it's a pretty special snake to me, so I've only actually ever seen one before in my whole life, and I've been coming out here forever. So we'll get him out of harm's way. He is out of harm's way, and so yeah, we'll let him get back to it. Funny, I've been coming, well, we've got a car, hang on, I'll be back. Well, I've coming down here. Sometimes you come down here and like there's heaps of them. They're kind of either on or they're not. Like you rarely just come through and just see one. Like usually, you know, if you're going to see one, you're going to see more. And when we seen those blackheads to start the night off, it really did get my hopes up. But then I drove like, you know, near 80 odd K and did not see a thing, not a scary Goliath, and I was like, holy, what is going on here? Because yeah, you can get significant snake numbers on this road. So I was starting to get a bit worried there, but anyway, we've we saw, we conquered, and we're only just getting started. It's nearly 10 p.m. and it's about 200 kilometers to my next road. I don't know. Yeah, it's nearly 10 p.m. We've got about 350 kilometers till the first patch of habitat to find this other species of death adder. So it's a fair hike. It's going to be pretty late. I should be able to do it. And like I said, I've only ever seen one of these, and they're a pretty special snake to me. Regardless, even though I haven't had a real lot to do with them, they've always been right up there amongst my favourites of the death adders. So hopefully tonight's the night we can see number 2. I'd be like losing my mind, and if we do see one, I might not seem like it because I'm probably going to be near falling asleep. But anyway, I can't see anything, and there's cows and cow shits and heaps of kangaroos. There's been dodging wallabies left, right and centre. So I'll get this light out of my eyes and I'll get yeah, anyway, love to see it. I promise you, I just put the GoPro down. Yeah, just got lights blinding me, and the whole road is just cows. We'll manoeuvre through there, and away we go. There's a dead snake on the road, just up here. I just seen its ventrals. They look real bright, like it might be a northern brown. I don't think I'm totally wrong. I'm totally right. Northern brown. So this is your northern brown snake, Pseudonia nucalis. You can see just how bright those ventral scales are with the typical brown snake spots on them. They pretty much all brown snakes have those orange spots. Quite a textbook feature for their genus. Also another, I guess another little, I don't know, tendency. I don't know, the English isn't Englishin, but is the black mouth lining on the northern brown snake there. Known to have that black mouth lining. It's pretty hard to give you a look at that normally, but I can definitely achieve that now when he's dead with his mouth wide open. But these are extremely toxic snake. These will ruin your day. These are, you know, right up there, you know, the 3rd, 4th, 5th most venomous snakes on the planet. Extremely toxic extremely potent neurotoxic venom. But yeah, unfortunately he's had more than his day ruined. He's had his whole life taken away from him. So shame to see a beautiful animal in this state. I would have loved to come across him alive. You can see why I sort of knew what that was driving over it pretty quick. Straight away just knew that was a northern brown. Only sort of other snake you'll see up here. What the fuck is that? Only other snake you'll see up here with those sort of colours generally is your common tree snake, which I've never seen down this far. So anyway, I've dropped him off the side of the road. Whistling kite will come down and pick him up. Have him for brekkie. It's such a beautiful animal. Look how bright that is. Those colours are just unreal. Those orange spots. Oh, some of that's blood in there. There you get a better look at it on his neck. Textbook brown snake ventrals, but these guys definitely do take it to a whole nother level. Those colours are just unreal. Rest easy, mate. Right, I just found an olive. Is it an olive? Is it a water? Has to be an olive. Never seen a water out here. No, it's an olive. Let's go have a look. See him just sitting there going through all this road work. Grabbing the phone, look, he's like waiting in ambush. Such a funny spot to set up. He's been hit. Oh no. A road train just went through before. Oh, you can see all these marks. He's come off the road. I literally just passed the road train. Righto. I'm gonna just cut this short because I'm gonna have to think quick on what I'm gonna do with this thing. Right, yeah, so luckily he's okay. Most snakes that get hit, yeah, definitely. He's grabbed hold of my arm. Euthanasia jobs, but as you can see, he is very, very mobile. Usually, you know, they get spinal damage, vertebrae damage. Also, oh, he's gonna bite me again. Also, internal bleeding. The only sort of spot where I can see damage is right on his neck, sort of below where his head is. You can see he's flicking his tongue, like extreme tongue flicks. Very, very good sign. He's also about to bite me. Also another good sign. I'm trying to stay as still as I can, but he's definitely going to bite. You can see how alert he is, and obviously how mobile he is. And like I said, I would generally, I euthanize 9 out of 10 snakes that I come across that have been hit by cars. But I just wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't feel right doing it to him. I think he was definitely got a fighting chance. Obviously they can have internal bleeding, they can have issues, but also you have no idea, you do not understand how tough reptiles are and snakes are, how resilient they are. They are literally designed to survive. So, you know, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, like most people are going to be like, bring him to a carer, do this, do that. It's not an option out here. Even if you took him to a carer, that you can't get him back out here. The best thing for these animals is to stay in the bush, to heal naturally, do everything themselves, not bring them in to captivity. Obviously, yeah, this is, this isn't a natural injury, but it doesn't change the fact that he's out here in the bush. Yeah, I don't quite know how to explain it, but captivity is not the answer. Carers are not the answer. Things like that are not the answer. Look at him. Look how the only part where I can physically see physical signs of damage is where he has essed up extremely tight. There is definitely no spinal damage there. As far as internal stuff goes, well, that's just yeah, he's just gonna have to work that one out himself. And like I said, I euthanize 9 out of 10 snakes that have been hit, but I do think this snake will be okay. So I'm just gonna get him right out of, in the bush, somewhere where he can do what he's got to do, somewhere safe, secure, not sitting out in the open. So he is no worries, eh? Sort of missed the first bit of that, but he just took off like normal. A little bit of claret for. Anyway, it really does upset me to see snakes like that always. And honestly, it upsets me more thousands of snakes I've had to euthanize for the same situation, something still very, very, very much alive, but its back's broken, it's got guts hanging out, and they'll sit there and they'll take hours and hours and hours, like all night. Like they will sit there and cook in the sun the next day and die from heat because they're it's horrific. But yeah, I genuinely, with all of my heart, think that snake will be okay, and I think that I made the right decision. Another Another bit of a side quest here, but people don't realise like how important it is to keep an animal where they are, like particularly, you know, reptiles, or particularly snakes. I mean, like even if you took that into captivity and you took it out, like if you took it out into captivity and you didn't, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. So like snakes have a home range. Like, you know, some species have bigger home ranges than others. Olives are quite an active species, so they're going to have quite a large home range. But in saying that, if you took that snake out of its home range and re-released it, even slightly, the chances of that snake living are slim. Like, you need a sort of, I think a way to picture it is like when the snake's born, it hatches, it goes off into the bush, it grows up, well, it hatches in the bush, it's already in the bush, but it grows up in the same area. So as it grows, it'll move around, whatever. When they get to a certain size, they have an area where they stay, their home range, and throughout, you know, certain times of the year they'll go to different parts, you know, more water there, more food, more sun, better temperatures, shelter, etc., etc. So they will go, they know it's mapped, it's literally mapped internally into them. And if you were to take them out of that area and put them somewhere else, they just have no idea, and it's not just something you can just learn. Like they'll literally will slowly die. You know, some snakes, this is not the case for all snakes, but this is definitely the case for more often than not. A study was actually done on relocated snakes from snake catchers that were catching them out of people's houses and relocating them in the scrub, and most of the snakes were dying. So yeah, like even like a captive snake that's lived its whole life indoors, you go put it in an outdoor cage, it doesn't even know what to do, it doesn't eat, doesn't do anything. Like one of my mates had a long-term captive, you know, an old snake, nearly 10 years old, goes and puts it in like a 10-meter outdoor cage, it's all planted out, it's amazing, it's like the best thing ever. You'd think that it would absolutely love it, and you put it out there and it refused to eat, won't eat. Starts getting skinny, bring it back inside, put it back in a tub, eats the feed straight away. So I don't know, I don't really know where I'm going with that, but yeah, I just am not a believer. I'm just not a believer at all in taking something out of the wild, especially not for rehab and stuff. It either needs euthanasia or it needs to stay in the wild if you think it's going to be okay and it's going to sort it out itself. You'd be amazed as to how tough and how resilient these things are. They are literally designed to survive. Got another snake here. Oh, we had another snake. Just gone like yesterday. Well, the rain set in, which was expected. Hopefully it doesn't hinder my my journey too much. I'm pretty worried that I'm not gonna be able to get through this road, But anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, literally. Got another blackhead here. Him slithering down the road. Twitching his head. He actually had an owl sitting right next to him, like the owl was like where I am, I suppose. It's moving pretty quick, fair bit of lightning and whatever around. He was still when I went past. I wasn't sure if he'd been hit, but he's fine. Another nice snake. definitely incredibly lucky. I feel like I have such good luck. Does that work? Sort of works. I feel like I have such good luck with these snakes. I literally see them everywhere, but they're kind of like a species that you know, if someone wanted to find one, you'd barely know where to start. They just show up whenever they want, but luckily for me, they show up pretty regularly. Anyway, he's in quite a hurry, so I won't get in his way. Out looking for a meal. Still looking for a mate this time of year. Bit of struggle street for the Richard. It's getting late. I'm getting tired. But we will keep persevering. This big black and white bull on the... Oh, he's a steer, but oh, he's a weapon, eh? That thing. We can get a look at him.